What's up, everybody? Joseph Hadaway here. So, as you know, I talk about the FIRE movement a lot. I eat, sleep, breathe FIRE movement. It's what I want for myself, and if you're watching this video, it's what I want for you too. So one thing I talk a lot about, investing, financial freedom, your financial life, looks a little different for every single person. Like, what is financial freedom and happiness, and even like an investing and financial plan for me, is a lot different of what it's going to look like for you. And that's fine. So if we go back to the history of the FIRE movement, it really started taking over, exploding 2008, 2010-ish. And it went from a few people who had this crazy idea of maybe I don't want to work until I'm 60 to a large group of people, hundreds, thousands, maybe even a few million people across the US and across the globe who think there's more to life than working until you're 60, enjoying a few years of retirement, and then going on. I don't know the proper way to word that now, but you get what I mean. So as more people have come into the movement, as have a lot of ideas and a lot of momentum and a lot of different viewpoints, a few ideas what you should, what you shouldn't, what you can, what you can't do to reach FIRE. So with that said, with all these viewpoints and people coming in, FIRE has kind of been broken down into 5 different categories, 5 different ideas of what you can do. Of course, you don't have to fit, or you're probably not going to fit exactly into one of these categories. It's probably going to be a little bit of a mix. But today I thought we'd dive into each of the 5 and help you decide which one is best for you. All right, so first up on the list, we got Fat FIRE. So start off with the basic. What is Fat FIRE? Fat FIRE is retiring, and in a lot of people's minds, retiring well and retiring right even. Fat FIRE is exactly what it sounds like. You have a lot of money, a lot of discretionary money, a lot of money in the market. You're going to bring home a very decent income, even in retirement, whether you're doing dividends, 4% rule, real estate, whatever it is. And you are going to absolutely live life to the fullest, traveling, luxury, everything. Probably a nicer house, nicer car even. I mean, you got the money, might as well spend it. And the net worth associated with this is by far the highest of any of the different types of FIRE. So it's going to take the longest to achieve, and you're going to have to live simply for quite a while to reach it. But once you get there, oh boy, you are living the absolute life. While this may be great for some people because, again, once you retire, traveling, luxury, you name it, life's good. It may not be great for others because, well, for one, you may not want that in your life, and that is completely and totally fine. Or maybe you just don't want to wait that long, or maybe you don't want to put in all of the work required to get to that high of a net worth. And throughout all of these, I'm not going to put a number on what a net worth would be for one of these because $10 million, I mean, for me, is an extraordinary amount of money that I may not ever hit in life, and that's fine because I don't need that much, but I know other people who call 10 million a stepping stone. So it's all about your life and your money and how you're going to spend it. All right, and next up on this list, we have the exact opposite of Fat FI, and that's Lean FI. So if you're striving for Lean FI, it's probably one of the easiest, I'm going to word this as a traditional method of FIRE that you can think of. Lean FI is a very minimalistic lifestyle. You're going to have enough money through your passive income, your investments, whatever it may be, that you can pay your basic necessities, but you're not going to have a lot of money left over for things like travel, eating out, whatever it may be. So Lean FI is great. Like, if you get laid off of your job, you'll probably be fine. But if you're looking for long term and you know you want to travel, you know you want to do these luxurious things, then you're going to need a little extra money coming in from somewhere else. But if nothing else, Lean FI is an amazing goal to strive for, and for a lot of people, myself included, is the first sign of true financial freedom. All right, number 3 on this list, we have the FIRE, FI, whatever you want to call it, that most people probably think about when you think of early retirement, or even to some extent regular retirement. And it's the middle ground between Lean FI and Fat FI, and that's just plain old regular FI. The idea behind this one is your passive income, investments, whatever, maintain roughly your current lifestyle and expenses. So whatever life you're living now, you'll continue to live at regular FI. That's 1 vacation a year, 2 vacations a year, eating out once a week, not eating out once a week, whatever it may be, but without the burden of a 40+ hour job that you got to wake up and go to every day. So regular FI, I guess the best way to put it would be recapturing your time while continuing your current standard of living. All right, so for the next 2 on the list, we're going a little off the beaten path of what you probably think of as FIRE or early retirement, or again, traditional retirement, and going into a couple different ideas. So for number 4 on this list, we have what is a personal favorite of mine, and that is Barista-Fi. Now, you don't have to be a barista to hit Barista-Fi, but it's the idea of you have enough passive income to cover, probably the majority of your living expenses, and then you pick up a part-time job on the side to maybe give you some more discretionary spending, or even cover that last little bit of expenses that your passive investments, real estate, whatever, don't cover. Now, Barista-Fi is super popular here in the US, or at least much more in the US. I can't speak about abroad or other countries because of the US's healthcare system. Healthcare in the US is ridiculously expensive, and I think everyone around the world knows that, so I'm not telling you anything new. So the idea of Barista-Fi came up a few years ago when Starbucks started offering health insurance to part-time workers. The idea there is you work 20 hours a week and you qualify for their corporate group health insurance. And again, here in the US, individual health insurance or anything not through an employer is ridiculously expensive. And one medical emergency, if you don't have insurance, one ambulance ride, one emergency room visit could quickly bankrupt you. Again, I know the vast majority of my audience, if not 99+%, is American, so I'm not telling you anything new here, but Barista-Fi is a great idea, at least here in the States, because you get access to health insurance, which for a lot of people who go into entrepreneurship, early retirement, or whatever it may be, paying for those medical emergencies or even declining health in older age, which it's coming for all of us, is one of the biggest insecurities moving forward. Last up on the list, we've got Coast-Fi. So what is Coast-Fi? Because it's probably one of the least, if not the least, talked about method of firing or type of fire. Coast-Fi is basically saving up for traditional retirement early and then coasting with compound interest. I guess let me explain that a little more. I'm going to use an example here from the Time Value Millionaire. Phenomenal website, phenomenal blog, phenomenal article that I'll link down in the description about the 5 types of fire. Matthew, if you ever watch this, I've got a podcast. DM me on Twitter, send me an email. I would love to talk sometime. Love what you do. And I'm going to highly recommend everyone else watching this read the blog, check out their resources. So in the article on their site, they get a guy who they conveniently call Joe, comes out of college, 20 years old, making $60,000 a year. So in the example, Joe invests 20% of his gross income for 10 years until he's 30. So at 30, he has just a little south of $160,000 saved up in his 401k, IRA, whatever. It doesn't really say, but that's not the important part of the story. So from there, Joe can stop investing entirely and he'll have over $1 million. Let's see, I think I have the article pulled up. He will have, just over $1.2 million when he reaches traditional retirement at 65 if he doesn't invest another penny for the next 35 years. So then what's the perk of this? Well, that means that Joe has now freed up 20% of his gross income for 35 years after this. He can do whatever he wants with that money, whether, travel, vacations, luxury cars, a nicer house, whatever. That is 100% discretionary spending, and he doesn't have to worry about it. Or let's say, for example, at 30 years old, Joe decides he doesn't like the corporate life anymore and he wants to come down into a less stressful job or a less stressful life that maybe comes with a 20% pay cut. That's fine. That's totally fine because he is invested toward retirement. He doesn't have to put in another penny. So the idea is you either coast to retirement for 30, 35, however many years Coast-Fi works out for you, or you coast through an easy job to get you to traditional retirement. Whatever it is, whatever your definition, it's whatever you make of it. All right, always remember that no matter what, you don't have to stick in any of these exact categories. If you want to do a little bit of one with a mix of the other, do it. Your life, your goals, your financial freedom. I'm going to say this in every single video. No matter what influencer, guru, whoever, Twitter personality you see, Finance Bro, I'm going to add that one in there. You don't have to do exactly as they do. What worked for them may not work for you. If it works one for one, great. But it might not. You have independent goals. You have an independent life. You need to make independent decisions of what works best for you and what makes you happiest. I mean, despite everything I just read on the list, if anyone asks me, I tell them I'm pursuing Joseph Fi. Because it's my life, my goals, my money, and you can absolutely do the same. Hey, thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I'm recording this before I posted the last video, so I'm currently at a 2-week gap between videos. Sorry about that. We're getting back to weekly. Follow me on Twitter, listen to my podcast, which I hopefully have another episode of that up by now. If I don't, check again on Monday. They're coming. I promise. And I even have a few blog posts. Content is coming, I swear. You just gotta trust me. Hey, thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you want to hear more about the FIRE movement, side hustles, and how to grow your money. And with that said, I'll see you all next week.